Alrighty then, we're continuing our dungeon crawl here. So our party is right here in room 9. We dealt with a handful of kobolds. One bolted, escaped, and fled this way. So last time we checked, it had leftover health of 2 hit points left. So most likely it's going to be in this room here, which might be room 10. Now, you guys see this large room right here. Well, this is a wall. I haven't described the details of this wall yet, but once our party gets to this location, I'm going to roll a awareness related check using no modifier for either of my guys, and we'll see if they can spot it. This wall, it will be a hidden door, essentially. This is a standard door, locked as usual. So, okay, we get to this intersection here. Our team, one of our guys, spotted the kobold make a right, so they cautiously enter this corridor, this intersection, noticing there's a breeze coming from here, and there's eerie silence coming from the left, but they hear footsteps, chatter, and a door close in this general area on the right, coming from the right side. So they will make a right here and stop at this corner, look around, and they see this door is closed. So this is where I'm going to roll the awareness check again for both characters. Deberman first. Now he doesn't have anything as far as skills or special abilities that will actually. I stand corrected. He does. He has awareness, a literally awareness, which will give us an extra d6. So it'll be the highest of the two, and perhaps intelligence, which has a +1. Thinking of either intelligence. I think this is intelligence because this is the knowledge of a structure. So we're going to do two of the highest of the three plus a 1 bonus. And that will be we have 7 here plus 1, 8. So Deberman first notices something strange about this wall, and then we will roll a flat 2d6 with intelligence with Graham. Sorry, not flat. Um, no skill, but +1 intelligence. Ooh, lucky. 7. He also barely notices, not as thoroughly as Deberman did, but they both see this strange, unusual door that has appears to be a little out of place compared to the other walls around them. But they look at the door, noting that this is most likely going to be the path the Cobalt took. Now, the Cobalt, almost forgot, is obviously going to be bleeding out. So, let's roll for this. Does the trail of blood go into this door here, this room here? 50% chance. Actually, 70% chance. Whoops. Okay, it does not. That is a solid no, which means the blood goes underneath the door and they see that. So they both look to each other and nod that this is the path the Cobalt took. But strangely enough, they hear chatter. Well, we can roll for it. Let's see if there is chatter coming from room 10. So this will be room 10 right here. Let's roll. Do they Does Deverman mainly, because he's kind of the leader of the party, with awareness bonus and +1, does he hear the chatter coming through the door? He barely does. That's a 7 with the bonus. That's 6 plus 1, 7 for intelligence. Actually, that's wisdom, which has no modifier, so that's a failed roll. And I wouldn't use intelligence for attempting to hear chatter. not really worried about what language is being spoken, but wisdom, I believe, would be more suitable for just doing a um, awareness check. Okay, I could be mistaken there, but that's how I'm going to roll with it. So they don't hear. We can roll to see if, let's see if Graham notices. No bonus, no modifier. Oh, okay, he does. So that's 9. That's a partial. He hears a few words spoken behind this door, apparently shouting, but he doesn't make out what language it is. However, not knowing what language it might be could be um, non-human, non-common. So could be inhuman. So they are torn on what to do here. I believe that they want to either spend some time trying to open this hidden door that they found, or go through this conventional door to find out what's going on in here. If they go this way, they risk their back being exposed unless one of them keeps an eye on the back. So I'm going to roll on this. I'll let the dice decide what they should do. 4 through 6, they go towards the room 10. 1 through 3 is this big room right here. So the first die will be Deberman. Okay, so they want to, Deberman wants to go to the big room. Okay, now what does Graham want to do? Okay, they both agree. They are very curious what is behind this hidden door. Potentially treasure, potentially more kobolds to take out. So they sneak, they make their way quietly towards this door. They look back. Do they spot anything behind them? I'm gonna think 25% chance they notice anything behind them. Oh my gosh, that's a yes. I just had to roll. I had to. Okay, so they see a shadow right here moving towards them at a very brisk pace, but they don't hear anything. So Deberman notices, I'm sorry, let's say Graham notices, because Deberman's kind of in the front near the door. Deberman just kind of, Graham casually turns around, just making sure that there's no one behind them, again, because they're exposed. They have 1, 2 undiscovered paths behind them. They see a shadow approaching at a very fast pace. Graham taps Deberman on the shoulder and tells him there's someone behind us. Deberman turns around. The shadow vanishes, and they hear that same breeze coming from the north, this path, right, this corridor here. So the shadow's gone. Deberman says you're seeing things. Graham swears he saw a shadow literally approaching them at break at fast pace. But he's going to ignore him. He says, "Let's get in this room." So this hidden door, we'll have to roll for it. This will be intelligence. He's going to figure out how to open this door. There's no advantage. It's just a, well, awareness might be, I think decipher might be more suitable for that. So no additional roll, no advantage. This will be +1 with intelligence. Does he figure out the door? He does not. Deverman does not figure out how to open this door, this secret door. Graham will try. He says, "Let me try," and then so he steps in front. No advantage, just +1. That is a 7. So um, they see that there is, let's see, what would be suitable for this door? I'm thinking that there's a crack at the bottom of the door, something you can stick under. I'm going to say that whatever was used to open this secret door is no longer available to use. So he sees that there is a uh, hole, like a small footprint at the bottom of the door where you would place something to open this door up manually. This door does not open it through any magical means or some mechanic. It is strictly you put something that's can fit under, and you push to lift it up, to push the door up. So Graham is our fighter. He has +2 strength. He says, I think we need to put something to leverage this door up. So he has athletics. He's going to try his, uh, he will try his short sword, which is a D8, FYI, and it will try to pressure it, pushing the sword at the bottom of the door and pushing down on the butt of the sword to lift it up with brute strength. So if this fails, the sword will crack. If it's a critical fail, if I roll ones, this is a critical fail. That'll be the sword is broken. He has to go back and find a different weapon. Okay, but we have +2 strength and advantage. I swear, not rolling that well today. So I'm sorry, +2. So that's 5, 6, 7. Okay, he managed to just to get the sword underneath the door and push down, not like a lever. The door opens, but then it gets stuck. The door does not open all the way up. It gets probably to knee height. So they jump out of the way and they can hear voices, some two voices coming, complaining, talking about that there's an intruder, that they're here, they found him. And so while they jump out of the way, they there is an arrow, a bow and arrow, fires and hits the door from behind. So they say, shoot, we've been exposed. They know we're here, or obviously we weren't too stealthy about it. So Deberman is going to look underneath the door as quick as he can because he's stealth. So we're gonna roll for this. I'll give him advantage for stealth and dexterity, +1 on dexterity. There is the roll I want. So that's a 10 +2 or +1 dexterity is 11. So he sees that there is a large crate or box right here with ranged a ranger of sorts, a kobold with a bow, about to fire another arrow, and it fires at Demerman, but he gets out of the way. That's a sum up with this roll we just did. Now he jumps back and he says they have an arrow. I also have an arrow, so I think I have an arrow. Bow. I don't. I'm sorry. I do not have a bow or arrow. I have no long range. I thought I did. Didn't I have a bow and arrow? Yeah, I do. A short bow. Sorry. I'm looking at the wrong character. Deberman does have a short bow. Obviously, I don't track ammo. I don't track arrows. But they do have some magic. So they see the crate, and what this is, it's actually a not necessarily a crate like a square. It's a bin. So this bin right here has something flammable inside, probably alcohol or something. So he has a couple things here. He has a jewel of illusion. He has a scroll of repel, which I'm guessing is going to make it where it pushes something back. He also has, I'm sorry, Graham has a ring of fire, which he hasn't used yet. It's once usable per room, not per day, not uh, rechargeable. It is per room. He also has a one-use scroll from Karen of icy touch. So they're thinking, let's use one of our magic items. And Deverman's quickly thinking of the ones he has. He's Jewel of Illusion probably could work here. Scroll Repel might be risky because the door is only halfway open, and it's what 5, 10+ feet away. Uh, Graham is like, I found the scroll of icy touch. We can try it. So we have +1 intelligence for Graham. Okay, so he's gonna try this scroll of icy touch and perhaps freeze, or he's thinking Ring of Fire. It's reusable. You know what? Let me do this. Ring of Fire, it's too OP for um like the entire campaign, the entire adventure. I'm gonna change it to 2 uses, so times 2. it can only fire twice. So I'm doing a little mod there with the original description. So he's gonna use a ring of fire. So kind of like Captain, like kind of if you see the Captain Planet show, um, not Marty, I totally forgot the American character's name, but he has his ring. He's gonna fire a fireball at uh at the crate or the large bin of whatever it is. So he's going to use that plus one intelligence. So here we go. We're rolling for scroll. This will be our first magic item, I think. And that is going to be, let's see, five, six, seven, eight with intelligence. So what happens is the scroll is successful in a way. I'm going to erase it. I'm sorry, not the scroll. The fire. It is now just one charge left. It fires and it explodes, causes a combust. It explodes, an explosion, but it does not hit. The failure is the partial success is out of sight for Graham. It does though hit the archer. He stumbles back and he takes, let's say, two damage. So now we are in encounters. Okay, let me get my encounter sheet out. Okay, so this was the prior. We had kobolds, so we're done with those guys. Now we have an archer, and this I'm going to say is the kobold from earlier, where he had two. So they have two armor. So uh, let's do kobolds, archer. He is going to be a D6, armor of two, and he has health of, let's say, six. Now it's four from the explosion. The prior kobold is a fighter, so he's KF. And I'm gonna don't recall if it was D6 or D4, but I'm gonna upgrade him or at least keep him at D6. He has also armor of two, but he has two health, so he is hurt. Okay, the explosion it was gonna be good enough for distraction, so the party will quickly jump in, and Deberman is going to attempt to fire his arrow at the distracted and currently hurt uh, archer right here. That's going to require a roll with dexterity. Not stealth, but dexterity. So it's not a skill for advantage. Here we go. Dexterity plus one on the roll. That's a fail. So he fires the arrow. It zips by. This guy jumps out of the way, and now he's right here next to his partner. And he's going to prepare his other arrow. With the fire right here, not exactly covering up the whole path, the fighter, Graham, will quickly run up and charge at the arrow archer as he's preparing to fire another arrow. He's busy, occupying putting the arrow, struggling. Remember, he's hurt. The fire is a distraction, so I will give an advantage in this part. So he's going to athletics is part of this role perfectly in the circumstance of things, and plus two for strength. He's going to lunge and use a short sword at the archer. So here we go. Plus two the strength. And we have five, six, seven, eight, nine, plus two strength. It is going to hit, but it's just going to do half damage. So we will roll for damage, which is a D8. D8 plus one. That's a skirmish skill. That's half damage of five. So let's say it's two. So Archer is now down to two, much like his colleague. And let's say only naturally Deberman is going to attempt to also get in the battle. So he's going to run by while that little bout was happening. He's going to run by and try to circle around this pillar to get him from behind. But that gives time for the original Cobalt to attack um, Graham. Now let's roll for this. We're going to do a flat roll. No bonus, nothing. And here we go. All right, you know what? Actually, I'm going to stay on the side of the player characters as far as rolling. Graham is going to attempt to dodge, and As I've mentioned before, my combat kind of changes depending on the circumstances. This is not a boss fight or anything, so it kind of does favor the Graham. Graham's going to attempt to dodge the incoming thrust with the sword by the Cobalt, the original. So this will be survival. I'm going to give a bonus here, advantage, and that is a success. So 9 partial success, actually, for the rules. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's going to be half damage he's going to take, but he is at 4, so it's concerning. 2, that's 1 damage for Graham. Okay, he's at 3 now. Out of, I think his hit dice was 2d6. So that, I'm going to say, per my rules, 12 is his maximum potential. Now is going to be our thief. Deberman, while that was happening, Deberman gets a backstab advantage. He's going to try to get them both with his short sword, kind of do like a swing to finish them off because they are close together. They're panicking. They were not expecting us to break in. So he will use stealth, a bonus here, advantage plus dexterity plus 1. So here we go. Hoping for a good roll. And that is exactly what that is, an unnatural 12. He manages to strike both of these guys dead, right in the back. So they are both extinguished. That combat round is over. Or that combat encounter is over. Okay, they're dead. Now, he quickly realigns with Graham to check on him. Graham is okay. He just took 1 hit. So Graham's going to use a potion. I'm going to say it's a D6. 6 is fine with me. So he's now up to 9. I do kind of break the rules. I'm using their hit dice as their maximum health. So 6 times, the number. So uh, that potion's gone. He no longer has any potion. Deberman will use his potion. He has a couple of them. So there we go. 2. The potion was perhaps broken. Some potion fell out. Some liquid fell out. Dripped out the whole time. Okay, so he's at 6. But he's down to 1. They're going to try to take a short rest. So while they look around this room, they see these large giant pillars. There's a river of lava right here. I'm going to write down lava just for myself. There we go. Lava. And a little, kind of like a little bridge here. It's going to be concrete. It's not like a wooden bridge. It's just a connection point. And he looks around. They see, just based on the lava, there's smoke, there's fire. It's blocking the view. It's kind of coming up. But they see there's a chest right here. There's the 2 kobolds we just killed. There is some items here. There's a barrel. Barrel, that was the word I'm looking for. The common English word. I can't believe it. There's a chest right here. There is some things out of sight that they can't see yet. So you got the shadow of war, a fog of war kind of blocking the view, besides the quick little antics of Deberman. So there is going to be a few things we need to populate this room with, but for now, this is going to be room 11. It goes to 11. So we have room 11 here. I'm going to make a little solid partial square there. And they're going to loot the first Archer Kobold. He had a longbow, so he's going to steal that and drop the short bow. That will give him a slight upgrade in damage for the bow. Now it's going to be a D8. And then there was some gold on him. That was 10 gold. So he's going to take that. He's now at 65 gold pieces for killing the pair of kobolds together. I'm going to give them 20 each of XP. 20 each. Now, um, Graham loots the original kobold from prior, and he finds 30 gold pieces. So now he has 94 gold. Sorry. Yep, 94 gold, and then 30 XP for that. We got the XP for the kill, and he is going to look through to find anything else. He finds beads. He finds a piece of cloth, like a it's not a sandwich. It's a ration wrapped in a cloth. So he's going to take that and he's gonna add that to his inventory, and that's it. That's all they had. So, is there anyone else in this room? Let's do an oracle question. Is there anybody else in this whole entire room? I'm going to say no, likely not. 25% chance. But knowing today, that's a no. That's a general no. There is not. There's nobody else. Okay, so it's just them. They have this entire room to explore. Okay, they're going to make their way. Deberman says, I saw a chest here, so they can walk up to the chest. And Graham is right behind. Keep an eye on the back. And is the chest locked? Most likely, 85% chance it is. Yep, it's indeed locked. And the lock, there is large lock on it. That's a really good yes. So he doesn't have any lock picks, but he does have a key. Now, the key, does this key open this chest? The key opened I think the key we used opened the cells or the cages that were literally holding humans as animals. I'm gonna say 10% chance. Yeah, yeah, I didn't think so. The key's useless. So he tosses the key. It was just for the cages. So let's get that out of his inventory. And then he's going to think, well, we can use one of the our magic spells we have. We can perhaps use just brute strength and open the lock. Graham is the stronger one, so he says stand back. He'll try it, so he's going to use athletics as an advantage here. He will use +2 strength on the advantage, and just use the butt of the sword or try to break the lock. Holy crap! So +2, that's a 14. That's a crit. So not only does the lock break off like perfectly, the chest opens up, and it is going to be. Let's see what is in here. This chest is filled full of gold, 300 gold pieces. So that will give us 150 per. So I'm going to split that up. So I'm going to say 150 XP for both characters. They split it up fairly. And now that will give us 150, 494. I'm going to say math is not my strong suit. Okay, so that's 215 gold total for Deberman and 244 total for Graham. There's also some armor in there. There's a large suit of armor, pieces of it, like the body, the helmet, the shoulder pads. It's a fully disassembled, strangely enough, a disassembled suit of armor. And they both look at each other, thinking, well, this thing would be too heavy to walk around. So Deverman's not interested. He doesn't like to wear heavy armor. He has light armor. But the fighter, Graham, does. So he's going to take parts of it. He takes the helmet is better, so he takes the helmet. He disregards his old one. His new helmet is a +2, so that'll bump up his armor by 1. And there is no shield. There is a it's plated armor, so I'm gonna say it's full medium armor. That'll give him a +2 on that category. So medium armor, and there we go. So now he's at 6 armor, which is great. Really giving these guys the gifts keep on coming. So now they're going to rest because they've been through quite a bit, and they're going to camp out here for now, just to maybe for a few minutes. There's no one around. It's lava. There could be someone here. I know we rolled generally in this room, but I'm thinking that that was mainly for this half. So they're camping right here. I put a little tent symbol. It's not necessarily an actual tent, but it's just a symbol that they're camping right here in room 11. And they're just resting they're eating some rations. So I'm going to take away 1 ration per side. And that will heal. Uh, let's re-roll 3 hit dice for Deberman with the rules. Higher or equal. 9, 10. So he heals up to 10. And then 2d6 for Graham, equal to or higher then. That's going to be, I'll just say it's 3 more. So he's at 12. He's at maximum. Okay. All right. So some time passed. Let's roll for an encounter if anything happens. I'm going to say unlikely, or maybe possibly 65% chance. Let's say 65% chance. Nope, no encounter. Okay. They pack up. Or not, they don't pack up. They stand up. They brush off, and they now are curious about going down here. Graham's like, well, what about the other room? Deberman says, well, I mean, I see a path between the river. We got to check it out. Graham is a little cautious about it. Deberman says there could be more gold there, and then he recalls there's a chest. So Graham is going to Deberman's going to tell Graham, look at the chest up here, this stuff. So he goes up here. There's nothing in this barrel. There's nothing in this chest. It's empty. He goes back to Graham. Graham is just standing at the bridge. Uh, Deberman's standing right here. Graham walks up, and for some reason, Deberman stopped. He's in disbelief. He sees the same. He sees the shadow. There's a shadow right here in full form. A shadowy being standing right here. Looks like it has like a large dress almost. Graham says, "That's the shadow I saw." Deberman standing in disbelief. He says, "You were right." And they're standing face to face with what could be either an enemy or something else. And that's where we're going to leave off this video. So our team is right here, face to face with whoever or whatever the shadowy being is. And they still have this room disregarded for now. Got distracted by fame and fortune, and look what happens. You run into Casper's evil brother. So there you go, guys. That's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. This was quite fun, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.